Am I the asshole for getting my aunt and uncle kicked out for not letting my husband and I sleep together? I'm male 27 and married to a man, and he's the love of my life. When I met him, I realized I was bi and we fell in love. We've been married for almost 4 years and now live in Vermont. My family is from a small town in Texas, a super conservative Catholic area. I was raised there, but my dad got a job in New York City when I was 15. My parents allowed our aunt and uncle, who just had their 3rd child, to move in while charging them a small rent. When I first came out as bi, my brother and dad were very supportive, but everyone else needed time. During visits, we stayed with my aunt and uncle at my old house. Am I the asshole for getting my aunt and uncle kicked out of their house? Since we weren't married, we weren't allowed to sleep in the same bed. So now when we visit, we just sleep in hotel rooms. This summer, my parents and brother visited my hometown again for 2 weeks and invited us. My aunt and uncle insisted that we stay with them. They wanted me and my brother to take the spare room and my husband to be on the couch. All 3 of us took issue with that. They snapped and said we weren't really married because we're gay. Also that they had children in the house and it would be a bad influence on them. This hurt my husband's feelings, and then he started crying and ran out of the room. Then my uncle started laughing. Am I the asshole for not getting my aunt and uncle kicked out for not letting my husband and I sleep together? My husband ran out crying and my uncle had the audacity to look at him and laugh. That's when I saw red and started cussing them out so loudly that my young cousins came to investigate. I said if they didn't apologize to my husband immediately, I was going to tell my dad what happened. My brothers seconded everything I was saying, and they started backtracking, but also said that we needed to respect the rules in their house. But I thought the only reason that they couldn't lay in the same bed was because they weren't married. I said that it really wasn't their house and that they were going to be homeless if I had my way. The kids started crying because they heard me say they were going to be homeless, so we left. My husband was on the porch crying, and I promised that I would never subject him to that again. When I told my dad what happened, he was so angry he served them a notice of eviction for 60 days. Now they're calling me the asshole.
Am I wrong for reading my coworker's fan fiction in front of everyone at work? Yeah, oh my god, it's called fan fiction. It's gonna be weird and inappropriate. Why would you do that? I guess the title sounds bad, but please hear me out. I, 27 male, am a general manager at a fast food restaurant. Not gonna say which because I don't want to get in trouble with my assistant manager, Sophie, 23 female. Sophie and I get along pretty well. We joke, fight about a lot of stuff all the time, and like to prank each other a lot. Like prank calls or making the other do fake orders or writing fake surveys about the other. Or splashing soda on one another. We end up working together a lot since we get a bunch of call-outs, especially at night, and Sophie likes to pick up extra hours. We've both climbed up in the couple of years that we've worked there and have a good relationship. When it's dead, Sophie likes to write fanfiction on her phone, which I sometimes tease her about. A while back, I made Sophie read me a line that she was writing and we were making jokes about it. Last week, I suddenly remembered the fanfiction again and decided to try and find it. I remembered a line that she had read to me and was able to search for it online using quotation marks. I'm not going to say which show it's from because I don't want anyone to find out, but it was shocking to read. Pretty much the 2 characters in it worked at a fast food chain and ended up falling in love. It was about you too! It got pretty graphic at some parts too. The main character was essentially a representation of Sophie, and the love interest was basically me. I mean, right now to copying conversations that we've had at work. He even had a wife he was cheating on with to be with her. I'm married, but I would never do such a thing. Anyway, a few nights ago, Sophie and the rest of the team threw a party to celebrate a couple of wins, and of course, Sophie pranked me by shoving a cupcake in my face. So I remembered what I read, and I thought it would be a good prank, so I pulled up the fanfiction on my phone and started to read it. Oh my god, this is really bad. When she realized what I was reading, Sophie's eyes started to tear up, which I was not expecting. The rest of the team was joking around with her, but she ran out of the party. Now she's not showing up to her shifts or answering my calls or texts. It's weird that Sophie's acting like this since she usually loves pranks and stuff, so now I'm wondering if I took it too far. But I also feel like she shouldn't be writing those things about me and her too. Oh my god, you moron. Oh my god. She has a crush on you, you idiot. Obviously. Oh, and the thing is, you read it first and then you still thought it would be a good idea to read it out loud to people. Once you realize that it's about you, she's crushing on you. It's called fan fiction. It's called fiction because she knows it's never gonna happen. Oh my god. Am I wrong for not telling my roommate's girlfriend my dress was fake? How does one have a fake dress? I, 23 female, have a good relationship with my roommate Jared, 23 male, except for the last 8 months because Jared has a new girlfriend, Melissa, 21 female, that loves my style. She has always admired and complimented my style. I wear designer clothes because I work at a fancy job and I need to dress properly. The issue is that when I am away from the house, she will always take my stuff without permission. She would blatantly use them in front of me and apologize because she forgot to ask me, giving them back dirty and or broken. Oh, now I see what you mean fake. Okay, it's designer stuff. One of my coworkers invited me to her wedding, and everyone at the office wears very fancy clothes to these events. I have been obsessed with a Zimmerman dress, and I was able to find a dupe online. The package came when Melissa and Jared were present. Melissa begged me to let her try the dress. She said she never had anything as nice in her life, and her birthday was coming up. I told her no because I needed to wear it soon, and she always forgets about cleaning it, and she tried to argue, but I ultimately said no. Suddenly, Melissa canceled her birthday party that was for this weekend and said she and Jared were going to do something private. I didn't think too much about it, except that night I decided to check Melissa's Instagram. I didn't see anything, which was rare for her, so I checked Jared's social media. They were at a nightclub and she was wearing my dress. I called and screamed at her that I needed my dress, and she started crying and hung up. I don't know what happened next that night because when she came home the next morning, the dress was ripped apart with wine stains all over it. I demanded a new dress. I told her I didn't care where she was going to get it from, but I needed my dress by this Friday. And she did. To my surprise, she left the new dress in my room the morning of the wedding. This morning when I woke up, Jared asked me about the wedding and if I enjoyed it. I noticed he was being passive-aggressive and I demanded to know why. He told me, "I hope you enjoy this stupid dress. Melissa won't be able to buy groceries for this week, but I hope you enjoy your stupid dress." I felt horrible. I asked him how, because the dress only cost me $130, amazing dupe, indistinguishable. He said that it was impossible because the dress that she bought was $800. That's when it hit me. I told him it was a fake dress and that I wasn't expecting it from the same store, just the same design. He called me an asshole and that I needed to give it back to Melissa, but had already used the dress. Now Jared, oh, it's Gerard. His name's Gerard. Oops. Now Gerard is upset at me and is calling me an asshole, saying I need to pay her back the money difference. I disagree because even though it was a dupe, most of my clothes that she has damaged was original and she hasn't paid me back. So am I the asshole?
My boyfriend's body odor is so bad that I'm considering breaking up with him. Am I the asshole? His pee-pee smells really bad. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 6 months now. The thing is, he's actually really good looking and he's hot. He's actually got an amazing body. He's an athlete. A few months into us dating, I started noticing that he was smelling a little funky. Especially when I tried to go down there, if you know what I mean. So I just never offered. Then I started noticing that he smelled really bad after every single practice. I'm the type of person that will always tell somebody if they have something in their teeth, or if there's something on your face, I'm gonna let you know. So one day I told him that he kind of stank and that he needed to take a shower. That's when he told me that his coach and his entire team are very superstitious and that they can only shower twice a week. Otherwise, they risk losing the entire season. This means I have to put up with him stinking all the time. Every time I go to kiss him, something stinks. So I basically stopped touching him. And this is making him really angry. I mean, am I a bad girlfriend? Go to part 2. My boyfriend's pee-pee smells bad. He has terrible body odor. Am I the asshole for wanting to break up with him? At this point, I couldn't even bring myself to kiss him, let alone hug him or even do anything else to his body. That meant zero sexy time. So I decided to tell him the truth that I couldn't stand his body odor. I even told him that his pee-pee smelled really, really bad. And that for that reason, I wasn't touching him or even kissing him anymore. Then he told me that I was being an inconsiderate girlfriend because the other girls of the other players on his team didn't care if their boyfriends were stinky. Then this man actually asked me to do the dirty with him. And as soon as we started kissing and trying to go at it, I started gagging at the stink of him. Then he told me that I didn't take his career seriously and he kicked me out of his apartment. Then I actually did feel like I was being the terrible girlfriend. At the same time, how could I be with him when he literally stinks so bad? 2 hours later, he showed up to my apartment, showered, and I couldn't resist myself, and we went at it. 2 days later, he stinks again. He's refusing to take a shower, and I don't know what to do now. 2 nights ago, he wanted to do the dirty, and he started kissing me, but I gagged again. Basically, I had to force myself to do it. He won't stop touching me. What should I do? I hid under my boyfriend's bed for 2 days and tried to poison him. Disclaimer is not my story time, it's sending me on Instagram. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 3 months. And when we started dating, I got really jealous. He was my first boyfriend and I just didn't know how to control my feelings. You can say I'm pretty toxic. Part of the reason why I'm so insecure is because my boyfriend is probably one of the most popular guys in school. He's a basketball player and he's about to be drafted. So all the girls are constantly trying to hook up with him. And this drives me insane. Whenever we go out, girls are falling over trying to get to him. A few weeks ago, I heard a rumor that my boyfriend had hooked up with a girl. When I asked him about it, he got really defensive. He got so angry he punched a hole in my wall. And And well, this made me start thinking, maybe he was cheating on me. So I basically started stalking him. And that's what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. I'm even skipping class just to go wherever he's going. That's when I decided that I would hide in his room. I even put on a diaper. Part 2 is up. I put on the diaper so that I could hide under my boyfriend's bed without having to get out. Disclaimer is not my Storytime was sending me on Instagram. I even took soft food with me so that he wouldn't hear me chewing. I knew he wouldn't be home, so I snuck into his dorm room. That's when I checked his entire room. I went through all of his clothes, even went through all of his dirty laundry just to smell them and make sure he didn't have anything in his pockets. Searched in between the mattresses and I found nothing. At this point, I was just looking for a sign of him having hooked up with somebody. I knew he was going to be coming home soon, so I snuck under the bed. It was pretty hidden underneath there because it's a huge bed. He came in by himself and started changing and went to take a shower. But he took his phone with him into the bathroom, so I didn't have a chance to check it. By the way, he thought that I had gone home to my parents' house, so he wasn't going to be hanging out with me at all. As he was getting ready, he put on cologne, and that's when I knew he was going to go look for another girl. A few hours later, he comes back and I'm still underneath the bed. And guess what? He's with a girl. The same girl I heard the rumor about. They come in there laughing and I can tell that they're clearly drunk. This girl goes to the bathroom and changes into lingerie. And then they started making out on the bed while I'm hiding underneath it. Part 3 is up. As my boyfriend is making out with this girl on his bed, I'm hiding underneath it. Suddenly, she starts talking about how she's so happy they're finally a couple. How she's so happy he got away from me since I was such a crazy ex. Clearly, my boyfriend had been poisoning me against her. That's when I realized I really couldn't blame the girl. My boyfriend had clearly told her that he had broken up with me and that now he was with her. My plan was to initially get out of the bed and surprise them, but instead, I decided to wait. I managed to set up my phone while they were doing it on the bed, and I recorded the entire thing. After they finally finish, she leaves. My boyfriend goes to take a shower, and I finally come out underneath the bed. And I sit on his bed. And the look on this man's face when he comes out of the bathroom, priceless. But the best part is that I was filming the entire thing. At this point, I was still wearing the diapers because I had been under his bed for 2 days. I'm obviously looking rough. Then I tell him that I've been under his bed for the entire 2 days. He started calling me crazy and he tried to kick me out. Then I told him that he needs to break up with the girl and come back with me. If he didn't, I would send the video around to the entire school, including his coach, who is the girl's dad. I got him pretty good. So now he's still my boyfriend, although it's forced, to get back at him somehow. I'll keep you guys updated. Bye!